5, we're digging deeper now into sex abuse charges against prominent political fundraiser Terry Bean. Prosecutors say Bean is now trying to settle his case by paying the alleged victim.
So a judge will rule tomorrow on Bean's request on what's being called a civil compromise, and prosecutors, they're strongly against it at this point. Our Tim Becker is here to explain what else is happening with this case. Tim?
Well, I found out that if the judge accepts Terry Bean's request for a settlement, it's an absolute bar to further prosecution in the case. That's why the district attorney is working to make sure Bean still has his day in court.
He's 66 years old. He's accused of having sex with a child in a hotel room in Eugene.
What is a hot topic on talk radio today will be filling a courtroom tomorrow when attorneys for Terry Bean will ask a judge to endorse an out-of-court civil financial settlement between the 66-year-old and his alleged victim, who was 15 years old at the time.
I want to thank somebody who put so much work into this event, Terry Bean. Give Terry.
Bean is a prominent political activist and fundraiser, and some say his clout and means will help him avoid prosecution. He and co-defendant Kaya Lawson each face 2 felony and 1 misdemeanor count of sex abuse.
We expect equal justice in the United States. The law should apply to all equally. This says it applies to all equally unless you have a fat wallet, in which case it doesn't really apply to you, but it applies to your co-defendant who doesn't have a fat wallet.
The dirty secret is that the criminal justice system, wealth makes a big difference, even apart from these offers to compromise.
Law professor Tung Yin tells me settlements are often smiled on by prosecutors because they save the system time, money, and resources. Not this one.
This case, the DA is saying, hold on, this is a bad idea. I do not support this. That makes it a little bit unusual.
Prosecutors filed this objection to a civil settlement Tuesday, arguing Bean needs to be held accountable in a court of law. Of Bean, Deputy District Attorney Scott Healy says this defendant should not be able to purchase an escape from the consequences of his own serial criminal misconduct, adding that Bean is a continuing threat to young, vulnerable victims he has been abusing for decades. Prosecutors continue building their case, filing new allegations from 2 other men, one claiming he was abused by Bean as a teenager in 1979.
So if you say you can buy your way out, that may satisfy the victim, the immediate victim of the crime. But what does it do for the rest?
So this civil settlement is possible in the first place because Oregon passed a law that allows judges to dismiss certain cases, this one qualifies, where there's an offer to compromise that the victim agrees to. It'll, save the time and money and everything else. Bean's attorney points to that law, calling the settlement an appropriate remedy for these very charges. Of course, the hearing is tomorrow morning, so we're going to follow up and see how this all turns out.
Again, the hearing is tomorrow. You'll be there. Hopefully we'll follow up and you keep us updated, Tim.
Okay.
Thank you.